everyone, it's Mambo, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Java game development tutorial. And let's load up the project. And today we're going to be working on states. So specifically the state handler and state package. So, alright, so let's get into it. First of all, we're going to create a new package. And we'll call this one, we'll call this package state. Actually states, we'll call it states. And now inside this, we're gonna create a new class and we're gonna call this one state. And state is actually gonna be enum. And I'll explain that in a second. We're also gonna create another class in here, and we're going to call this CanTick, and that's going to be a interface. I'll explain this in a second. And another one, and this is going to be a what do you call it? This is going to be a class, and it's going to be called state handler. State handler. There we are. State handler. So we have state, CanTick, state handler. All right. So first of all, interface is like a thing. Basically, whatever I put in here, like for instance, void update, like that. That is a method, kind of shell. And if I do one for render and add in graphics G, like this, basically whenever I implement CanTick to classes, they have to always have these two methods in them, update and render. And basically, I'll explain what we need this for in a second, but that's what we're gonna put in there, just update and render. And we'll close that for now. In the state enumeration, and what an enumeration is, think about it like a special data type, I guess. So like your enum, so your state, like for instance, in a state handler, I could do a if statement to check to see if state, like if the state is equal to state dot, like, and then I'll add something in there like state dot main menu, something like that, and that's something that I'm gonna put in. So if I go to the state enum, we're gonna do main menu, and this is how we do this, and we'll just do a comma, and we'll do just menu, like so, and drop that in there, menu, and then we're going to do level select, and we'll do settings, and we'll do play level for now. And those are all that's 5 states, all right? Main menu, level select, settings, play. So main menu is gonna have like the play, like it's gonna have the level select button. When you hit the play button, it'll go to level select, and then when you pick the level you want to play, it will go to play level. And then when you go to, you can click on settings to change the volume of the game or the sounds or something, or then you have the quit button. And then menu is just going to have an in-game pause, restart kind of thing, back to main menu or back to level select, and then level select is just going to have a selection of levels, and then play level is just where we're going to draw things. And what we need the state for is each one that's going to determine what states, what classes are going to either be running or not. It'll make sense when we get into it, but we don't need that either. So In the state handler, we're going to start with just something that's going to be a public static state. It's going to be of type state, and we'll just call this current state. And we'll just set this equal to main menu. State dot, and then, but it's not gonna be level selected, it'll be dot main menu, like so. So that's just gonna be the default. What current state is gonna be set to, the default is gonna be main menu. So the next thing we're gonna do is create 3 private static array lists, and they're going to be of type CanTick. Now this is important, and we'll just call this CanTick underscore. We'll just call CanTick underscore main menu. All right, and this is going to be equal to new array list, and we can actually get rid of this CanTick here and just go to up to file, project structure, and just select Java 8 with lambdas. And the reason is just Java 7 has diamonds, and that's what a diamond is right there. So that's why you have to, so you don't, if you're running Java 7 or higher, you don't have to repeat the that in there. So, but now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this for each, and there was 5 of them. So this is going to be main menu, this is going to be menu, and let's see, if we go back to the state, menu, level select, and settings, level select, level select, and then settings, and then settings, and then play level. All right. So those are all of the array lists. And basically what they're going to do is they're going to hold CanTick objects in them. And depending on which state we're loading, that's what they'll render and update. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do we're just going to create a new method, call it public static, and it's going to be a void. Just call it add ticks. And in here we're just going to pass through we need a state. We'll call it state, and we also need a CanTick C, I guess. We'll call it C and S. So basically, we're getting the current CanTick. So, for instance, let me just create a new. Actually, no. We'll do that. We'll do that in a little bit. But we'll take the current CanTick and the current and then the state that you want. So pass the state that you want, and it's going to do this. It's going to do a switch statement, and it's going to do it for S, switch S or state, and basically it's going to go to case menu, case menu, and then break, and then case, and then case main menu and break. And we're just going to do this for case settings, then break, and then case play level, break, case level select, break. And that is all of them. And then we'll do a default, and this one's going to be break. Okay, so basically what break does is it's just breaking out of the default. I'm sorry, it's breaking out of the okay. Okay, there. Okay, it's breaking out of the thing. So it's going to break out of this switch statement and go to the end. And what a switch statement basically is it's like an if statement. It's taking the value of this, and it's seeing if it's equal to menu, it will call that. If it's equal to that, it will call that. So if it's equal to, depending on which one it's equal to, it will call that certain one. Default, it's just going to be the main menu. So if it doesn't know what it's going to do, it will open up the main menu, which it would never do, but just as a thing. So now we're going to basically just, for each one, we're going to do, for the main menu, we'll do CanTick.menu, CanTick menu.add, and then we'll put C, because that's the current CanTick object. It's kind of maybe hard to understand, but then we'll go to here, CanTick's main menu dot add C. So we're adding objects to this array list. CanTick settings dot add C, and then CanTick and then this is play level dot add C, and then CanTick level select dot add C, and then the default's just me CanTick dot main menu dot add C. So if it doesn't know which one it's going to do, actually there should be no default in this. So default will just say system out. Actually, we're going to do system dot error because it's an error, and we'll just do cannot recognize state. So it's just going to say cannot recognize state whenever it doesn't do one of those. So that's what that's going to do. Now, so basically, to recap, it's going to, whenever I make a class, and it's saying like, okay, so whenever it's whenever I create a class that I wants to be updated and rendered for a specific state, I'm going to I'm going to implement the CanTick, and then I'm going to do add ticks. I'm going to add the tick. Sorry, add tick. And then it's going to, well, pass the state that I want it to add to, and then the current, which will just be this because it's the current CanTick object. And then depending on which one I put in, it will add it to that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have two methods. One called public key. That's the wrong section. Public void, I guess public static void. And we'll call this update. And we'll call this update. Update. What should we call this? Update. We'll go to state underscore update. Just state underscore update, I guess. Yeah. And it's just gonna require, yeah, no, that's all it needs to be state update. And we'll copy in, actually no, we'll put in a switch for current state. And we're basically just going to copy this body of this switch statement and put it in there. And instead of C, we're actually not even gonna, this isn't gonna be, There's probably an easier way to do this actually. And default, we'll just say cannot recognize state. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this bit of code, and it's gonna be, but you see, I think what I want it to do, the bit of code that I want to do is right here. I'll do it right here. So it's gonna be for, and it's gonna be CanTick C. This is a for each statement, by the way, and then a CanTick something, like for instance menu. All right, if it was menu, we're going to do this, and it's going to just do, it's going to call the C dot, actually it should be T really because it's a tick, and I'm gonna make this a T up here as well, and T, 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 T. All right. Now, T dot update. All right, and basically that's what that's gonna do. So I'll Control X that and get rid of some lines here, and I'll paste that here, and we'll copy, we'll paste, 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 and paste. So there's gonna be 5 of them, and each one's just gonna be this one, and then this one, and then this one, this one, there. That is what we want, and they're all going to call the specific update. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because what it's going to do is going to go through, it's going to call the CanTick T.update for the specific ones that you added to that specific one, because it's just going to loop through that. It's a bit complicated, but that's how that's going to work. And all we have to do is just copy this whole big thing, and oops, and we're just gonna go V, and it's a big thing, but instead of state update, we're just gonna do state render, and we're just gonna pass graphics G. All right, why does that not work? Oh, because it's inside that. Oh my god. Okay, I pasted it inside of there. Okay, here. Now we can go up here and do it. Render. The lowercase r. Render. There. And then graphics G. Alright, and then now the only thing here is we have to just change this to T dot render. No, render. T dot render G. So it's going to call the render. Let me just do that again. Okay. There. And then just paste. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. All right. So 1, 2, 3. That should be good. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, and then why is that erroring? Oh, because it's probably expecting a. Yeah, it's expecting that. All right. That makes sense. All right. So I'll close up these two here, and why? Oh, it's because it's there. All right, and we can do the add tick as well, can be closed up. So the idea. Oh wow! But I gotta refactor that because I spelt that wrong. Menu. Oops. Menu. Let's do that. Menu like that. And then I'm gonna refactor this one as well. Refactor. menu. There we are. All right. So that's what that does. So that's quite a lot of work there. And now in the graphics handler, all we're gonna do is just in the update, we're just gonna call state handler dot state update, and we're gonna call in the here. Let's see, in the render between here and here after but it's gonna be state render with the G. All right, hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna explain it a little bit fast. Okay, so basically, like we did in the last tutorial, it's gonna call these two methods every set amount of times per second. It's gonna go in here, right? It's gonna go to the state handler. It's gonna check to see what state is the current state. And then when it sees what that is, it's gonna go to the state update. It's going to go switch the current state, find the one that it needs to do. If it's the main menu, it'll go to main menu, and then it will go for each, do a for loop and loop through all of the objects, the CanTick objects in the CanTick.main menu. And when it finds it will loop through once it's, and every time it will go through with the object that got passed when it got added, and it will do t.update, if that makes sense. And it will do that for render as well. They're both basically the exact same process. And the add tick is just going to add it to the specific array list when the certain class is made. And I'm just going to do a real fast test class, and I'll just do this, called this test state. And in here, I'm just going to extend CanTick and see it's erroring now. So I'm just going to implement these two methods. Oh, and wow, I mucked that up. Why is that erroring still? Oh, extends, it implements, sorry. And that is, I guess, refactor, rename, and up. Rename base method, update. There. All right. Anyway, so it's got these two methods, and what we need to do is do a constructor, a base constructor, and whenever this class is initialized, we just have to do state handler dot state dot add tick, and then we're going to do the state we want. So state dot, and then for this one we'll just do main menu, or no, we'll just do we'll do menu, or yeah, well, no, we'll do main menu, and then T is this, the tick is this, and the reason why tick is this is because basically this object of CanTick, its instance of the CanTick, and usually you only have one instance of these kind of methods, and if you had multiple instances, you just be running them multiple times, so the same code multiple times if you wanted multiple, like for instance enemies on the board, kind of like that. So that is hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If anything doesn't make sense, leave a comment in the description below, and hopefully leave a comment down below, and I will hopefully check it to see and try to explain it to you. But anyway, that was kind of a large episode, but anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this. Oh, actually no, before you hope you guys all enjoyed, let's run it to make sure it works. And it works fine. It's basically what we had before. Obviously it's flashing a little bit just because we're resizing it and moving it around, but right now it's working good. So anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of Java Game Tutorial, on my Java Game Tutorial, and I'll see you guys all later.